channel,
What?
we've got day 4 of the Dawntrail MSQ and side quest run. We hit a bunch of the MSQ tonight. Got some really cool battles going. Cool cutscenes. Picked up job quests and a couple other quests. Sit down with your popcorn, enjoy the show. Comments are always welcome. And hit that subscribe button. We live stream Final Fantasy 14 nightly, 8:30 on. Could be 5-hour stream, could be 7-hour stream. Rarely it's a 3-hour stream, but we're always streaming. Come hang out, chat, join in the community. Let's get this channel going. Enjoy the MSQ for Dawntrail.
There really is no other. What the hell? Gonna do this. At least Peacock's getting experience. Okay, time to go pee. Maybe. No, we gotta get out of here first. That is a long way. 700. That's that area. Yep. It's up there somewhere. Oh, crap. Oh, yeah, we're gonna start out here, so we'll just... 일단 해거든. Oh shit. Okie dokie.
Very good, claimant. Once more, I name myself Gur Fulur, High Luminary to my people, and chosen Elector of the Dawn Servant.
You are much bigger than the others in the village.
All Yokui were once my equal in size, but ever since we were decimated by disease, it is rare to see a child reach our former stature.
You speak of the contagion which afflicted the Shaktural expedition. The one recorded in your murals.
It is a chapter of our history that is entangled with the legend of the Golden City.
I've heard that legend originated with the Yokui. Is this true?
With the visions our ancestors had, to be precise. Preceding the campaign into Shaktural, many were visited by dreams of glittering splendor. They described a paradise that knew neither war nor famine, where people lived lives of eternal happiness. A single dreamer might have been dismissed, but when dozens, if not hundreds, spoke the same, the luminaries became convinced it was divine revelation.
Then the expedition.
Its purpose was to find the City of Gold. Yes, help was marshaled from all the territories under our control. Lands were scoured on a massive scale.
Ah, little wonder the legend is so similar across Tural. Those involved with the search would have passed the stories down to their children.
Another claimant, I see. I will test your worth, as I have tested those who came before you.
Here and now, I think he means.
Well fought, second promise. For you and your sister's success in performing the feat of proof. You both shall be rewarded.
Three to go.
How glorious it would have been to race thee and thine to the summit. Though mayhap not whilst being hounded by Bakul Jaja and his minions.
Again, that swine shows his disdain for the right.
Strangely, despite his eagerness to antagonize us, he withdrew as soon as we fought back in earnest. I cannot fathom what he was trying to achieve. On a similar note, I'm also curious as to why you chose the peak of Warkor Zormor for the conclusion of this feat. The earlier stages saw us learn the history of the Yokui. Does this location also hold some special meaning for your people?
Yes, it is a place of great significance.
All these monuments. Is this a burial ground?
Every high luminary before me is enshrined in this earth. Alongside them are the heroes who bravely stood their ground when Valigarmanda brought ruin to Urkopacha 8 decades past.
That explains why there are so many.
Zorolja, I should have known you'd arrive here first.
Third promise. How relieved I am to find you in good health.
Zorolja, you bastard! I should end you here and now!
Remember where you are. You will mind your conduct, or you will leave.
Right. Sorry.
I see no reason to delay further. Show me my father's sepulchre.
Papa has a grave?
Upon this monument are inscribed the names of those who sealed away the monstrous Valigarmanda, your fathers included.
Gulul Jaja, Master of Resolve and Reason, Champion of Peace.
Look at this one. Kettenram, Navigator of Uncharted Oceans.
Kettenrun? The Laminsan explorer? Does this mean he joined Galul Jaja on his travels?
Kafkiwa, Seeker of the Unknown. How strange to see your name here.
It was unheard of to build living sepulchres for those who were not Yokui. But their great deed demanded recognition.
Master of Resolve and Reason, Champion of Peace? Papa really did some amazing things.
He carved his path with martial skill.
Yet it was clever thinking which allowed him to trap Valigarmanda within its own ice magics.
Martial skill and clever thinking. I can't compete with Zorolja's mastery of the Head of Resolve's techniques. And when it comes to knowledge, Kona's the one who most takes after the Head of Reason. Is there anything that I've gotten from Papa? Something I do better than the others? Of course. Papa's love for peace, for his people. That is what he's given me. And I'm fighting to preserve the peaceful Tural he built. in the hells was that?
You must return to Warlar's Echo immediately. Valigarmanda has broken free.
I presume that was about the unholy sound?
Valigarmanda is free.
We need to get back there. Now!
How fortuitous. We have been gifted an opportunity to outpace our rivals.
Oh, die! Yes. Done all I can. I've done all I can for now. The injured you found were awake and alert then. Yes. This as well, or that as well. We left the injured as comfortable as we could. Many were suffering from the burns to a greater or lesser degree. Did a fire sweep through the village? You? The details are unclear. Once I'd heal a giant attacked by that mountain bird. The group's leader, I believe they call him, did me depart. It was then that I felt an intense wave of aether and returned to find Horus Echo in his state. I rushed over to the first giant I saw. Though delirious with pain, he repeated the same warning vigilance has broke free, thus did I contact you with all haste. We're going to need more information than that before we can deal with the situation. Yes, we should speak to the Temple Guard and see what's become of the Skyrune's prison.
What happened?
So it's true. The ice has failed.
Surmurwar, tell them what you told me.
A short while ago, a claimant paid us a visit.
Oop, coriander mind magic.
Who enters this hallowed hall? Ah, a claimant.
Oh. And here we have the mighty Valigarmanda.
A terrifying Vidral. With every awakening, it has seared its ruinous name into the memories of a new generation.
What a good little terror. You've stayed napping right up until the day I needed you.
Explain yourself.
It is as they say. Kulul Jaja caused its magic to run rampant, trapping it in a frozen prison of its own creation. Clever. Clever. To unmake it, it would be quite tricky. 2 spells must be cast at the exact same moment. A conflagration intense enough to melt the ice, and awakening flame to rekindle the slumbering Vidral's soul. The only ones capable of such harmonious execution would be the heads of reason and resolve. And the blessed siblings, Bakul Jaja.
You mustn't!
But I already have. Rise and rage, little terror.
I might have overdone the fire a bit.
Utter madness. Why have you done this?
For the throne, of course.
You unleash calamity for your own gain? Have you any idea how many may die?
Wreak havoc, Valigarbanda. Live up to your legend.
A messenger to Tuli Yolol has been dispatched. The Landsguard will send a contingent, I am sure. But there is no telling when they will arrive.
Idiot! This monstrous act is a step too far, even for him!
So, what's the plan?
If we leave the Vidral to others, it will be a massacre. Some might call it the wiser choice, if I don't want to fall behind the competition. But I could never live with myself. And my supporters deserve a better ruler. So that's that. I will stay and fight Valiarmanda. This is an enemy so powerful that even my father failed to slay it. Alone, I don't stand a chance. I understand you've no obligation to aid me outside the rite of succession. But for the sake of Urkopacha and its people, I beg you, join me in this battle.
Yeehaw!
Far be it from us to abandon a dear comrade in her time of need.
Dear comrades now, eh? I have to say, it does have a comforting ring to it. Knowing someone has your back makes it easier to do what you have to do.
And what will we do?
One committed to winning the contest above all else would race on ahead.
If you resolve to slay Valikarmanta, we'll need to find out where the beast went.
That's what we have you for, old friend.
Inform the Bello of the danger. They may need to flee to lower ground.
So, Aaronville, any ideas on how we can get, or how we can track? Yeah. The tried and true method of comparing sightings with other sites of passage is the most reliable, but also the most time-consuming. There's a second option, not as reliable as the first, but if we're in luck, it will let us ascertain the Skyrune's whereabouts far more quickly. Through a trural visual, yeah. Like you and me, it is thus sustained by corporal energy and possesses a unique aether balance, which means this device should come in handy. The pointing finger. Floating hand. Now's not the time to be playing with toys. Not a toy, it's an aether seeker. As the name suggests, cleaners use it to detect the aether of living beings. And you've had it in your pack this whole time. I can calibrate it to follow a specific aether aspect. Problem with Valage, however, is that it can shift freely between the elements of fire, ice, and lightning. That's kind of shitty. Well, we know that in order to awaken Valage, they used icy imprisonment. Voljaja used quickening fire aspect of aether, and the residents here were uniformly affected by burns. Therefore, the logical conclusion is that upon breaking fire, unleashed a great fiery blast. And the choice is plain fire. The Seeker, however, is not without its faults, as we were not able to input our query's unique aether signature in advance. The device will respond to all living sources of fire aspected aether. Oh, great. So, we have the reliable yet slow method of informing gathering versus the potential swift and easy misled gleaner tool. I say not pursue both, or why not pursue both methods at the same time? The idea we'll have the first to fall back to the second fails. You travel with me, then Corey, in case the Seeker leads me to some other fiery friend. Let's go. The rest of us stay behind and talk to eyewitnesses. The more Sky Ruin sightings we can compare, then the more accurate the information will be. If no one has any objections, I shall remain here in the village and tend to the Yakoi. Very few are seriously injured, but I am weary of wounds inflicted by a creature like thou. I should like to be close at hand should their condition suddenly worsen. Now we got a pointing finger. Right, sounds like we have all the work to do. Well, we should be on our way as well. Peace. $93 minimum level. Okay, another more to get characters. Alright, let's go. Alright, so you're ready to go? Where does that go? It's still diffused with the Skyrim's residual aether, so I've excluded it from the search area to prevent from swapping some dead swapping such. Let's begin. Pardon, you, Aether Seeker, will then begin leading your onwards. While the Aether Seeker to its destination without falling behind. If you leave Airville for any reason, or lose sight of the Aether Seeker, you may try again and return to Otis. Yeah. Not quite the legendary creature we were after. But oh Jesus. Next. Would you mind dealing with the fire sprite? It will continue to confuse the Seeker if we leave it be. Okay. Come on, Bigok. Yes, sir, measure for tries again. No. Oh. Okay. I love a critter. Hot hand. Frightening enough, but again, not what we were looking for. If you would be so kind. Yes, sir. That's right. Oh, okay. All we want. Another remnant of Val's last rampage. Crater flames registered to the Aether Seeker as a corporal Aether. Wow. That device is horrible. In the words of the Truda Sage, when Val rages out of control, its fire burns forever, its ice does not thaw, and its lightning crackles without cease. Thus was the Dawn Servant able to turn Skyruin's perpetual magic against itself, trapping it within its unmelting prison of ice. This is no mundane fire, but some kind of everlasting sorcery. Once again, it is a strange feeling to see fanciful poetry proven true. The important thing is that the fire was classified as living aether. We can feed a sample into the Seeker and greatly improve our accuracy. One moment. Here you go, you dumb finger.
The trail ends here, it seems. Could Valigarmanda have shifted its elemental aspect? It does have 3 to choose from, after all. In any case, I'm almost certain the Vidral was headed in the direction of Warkor Lardor. We should let the others know we have a likely location.
Alphino is assisting the Yokhui with their evacuation. He thought they could use a healing hand with the injured.
So where is Valigarmanda?
Warkor Lardor. Its stratified layers contain a wealth of crystals, said to be the source of its many-colored glow. After 80 years of imprisonment, the Vidral will be in dire need of sustenance. It would have been drawn to the mountain's energies.
So Valigarmanda seeks to replenish its ether.
Then we'd better not give it the chance.
Stop!
That mountain is sacred ground. I forbid you to set foot on it.
Sorry, It is not our intention to trespass. But you must understand, That's where Valiarmanda has gone. If we don't slay it now, it will slaughter countless innocents. Just like in the old days, I beg you, permit us to enter.
Out of the question. Your band is incapable of defeating Valikarmanda. Either you seek to defile Warkor Lara Door, or you are fools.
Shit.
If you doubt their chances, how would you feel were we to join them? The monument to Valigarmanda's defeat bears the names of 7 heroes. With our forces combined, we also number 7.
Seven weaklings are no less doomed than 4.
Zoralcha, you've come to help as well.
Against my sound advice. While the rest of you were tussling with this sky ruin, we might have secured an insurmountable lead. A minor delay. It will not change the contest's outcome. I would take the measure of his Tural withdrawal my father was unable to kill.
With both my brothers here, this battle is all but won.
Your celebration is premature. I never said I would let you pass.
Don't have to let us, we're just going to.
Brother, no! We do not bear arms against our own people!
What an odd thing to say. As I recall, the inhabitants of Chirwagur Sultan do not consider themselves members of the Tuliyolal nation. I'd hardly call them our own people.
What does that matter? Members or not, everyone in Tural is part of our dream for peace. If you would hurt them, then you'll have to go through me.
She saved me from the mountain bird. Now, then, the same eyes. Eyes of stone. Words of stone.
We are still in her debt. This is true. Consider the debt repaid. But do not misunderstand. We do not submit to Tuliolan rule.
Aye, you've made your point. We can talk more once the contest is over.
I ask your name.
Wuklamat, protector of peace, and soon-to-be Dawn servant.
Even people with wildly different ideals can find understanding through earnest discussion. I believe that, wholeheartedly.
As do I. I won't give up until we reach a compromise.
Assuming you survive. My old bones and I will be waiting here for the true heir's return.
Your thoughts have always been a mystery to me, brother. But I'm relieved to see you put aside the contest for the sake of the greater good.
Our nation is a fortress, and its people the bricks with which it is built. The more that are lost or broken, the weaker Tuli Yolol becomes. Even the crudest rock has value as a stepping stone.
Come on, you two. Forget about the right of succession for now, and help me fight this overgrown snake bird. I don't care how strong the Sky Ruin may be. We're going to put this menace down for good.
Yeehaw, let's go. During this quest and when using the duty support system, you have the opportunity to undertake a trial with NPC companies or... oh, yeah. NPCs are regular people. We're gonna go with regular people because it's a lot faster. Aw, we can't pick Aaronville. Aw, that's not fair. Where? Oh. You gotta go up further. What is this? Just, oh, this is... oh, shit. Two, 4, 8, okay. Trial? Trial or raid?
We did it. We slew Valiarmanda. A feat that even the great Gulur Chacha couldn't manage. For you, Papa!
There's no denying it was an impressive achievement, but I wouldn't be so quick to claim we've outdone Father. The Vidral was weakened by decades of imprisonment. Had we faced it in its prime, we wouldn't have fared a fraction as well.
How can you say that? 80 years couldn't have made that much of a difference. Could it? Oh, who am I kidding? Papa's still the best. I did, didn't I? Even if it wasn't at full strength, we defeated a living legend. I swear, I'll surpass the old man one day.
The Sky Ruin lies dead, and still, I've yet to prove myself the miracle.
Well, I suppose we should head back and join Erenville.
We did leave him with only Sarelja for company.
No, it's probably not. So you probably know most of the main so we need some people to slow down. And it's like, it wasn't only running risk. It was this cross more certain than ever. About to have to him. Oh, he's really good. The voice was up. People still aware of what Al's is. I never got and play a fierce on my well. It's right, just worry about it.
To the temple, then.
Ah, good.
That won't be necessary, heroes of the hour. Valigarmanda is no more. Yours is a victory worthy of song.
We had plans for a second feat to be conducted here in town, but the recklessness of your fellow claimant has rendered them pointless.
A second feat?
The feat of ice. You were to fortify Valigarmanda's prison. How shall we proceed, High Luminary?
What more would we test, Zulmurwar? They have defeated the Sky Ruin and saved the gods know how many lives. If they are not worthy heirs to Kulul Jalja, then no one is. Now that our last claimant has arrived, we can proceed with the formalities. For the skill and bravery the three of you have shown, I award you each a second keystone.
That makes 5. Only 2 left to collect.
Except that one of those 5 is in Bakul Jaja's thieving hands. He will answer for that. And for losing Valigarmanda.
You have brought lasting tranquility to our home and earned the gratitude of every Yokwi. May glory and prosperity continue to bless Tuliolol as we enter this new age.
Was never much of a talker, our brother. If you're up for it, you should visit the capital. I'd like everyone to get to know you and your people better.
Ha! I'll consider it. If it's one of you two who claims the throne.
Then you need only await a missive from Sunperch. I'll be sending out invitations.
Today is a day for unusual visitors.
Easy doors.
You... Woklamat, was it not?
that you could slay Valikar Manda, but the quiet skies proclaim your triumph. Had the Vidral been suffered to roam free, it would have terrorized us all. Once again, we find ourselves in your debt.
You owe us nothing. We fought because we wanted to.
Yet a debt has been incurred. All the same, it will haunt me if I do not repay it.
I wouldn't even know what to ask for.
Perhaps he can tell us about the dreams of the Golden City.
Oh, good idea! That was on my list of questions I wanted to ask.
The Golden Dreams. Yes, we have records of our forebears and their visions from the time before the Shaktural expedition.
What did your forebears see?
A heavenly land, suffused with a golden glow. Its people lived as gods, never aging, never dying, free from hardship and conflict.
That's why they're not returning.
Every building was a palace, and in their midst reigned a silent goddess, a statue so tall even my kin would need lift their gaze to behold its visage.
A statue of a goddess. That's new.
Aye, and compared to the abstract imagery we'd previously heard, this was a detailed description.
The dreamers were consumed by their visions, compelled to seek out the paradise they'd been shown. They journeyed to Shaktural, where they died in droves.
Those who go in search of the Golden City do not return. The tales Book Evu shared may have been rooted in historical fact.
Perhaps. Who can know the truth of it? Once our ancestors left the forest, there were no more dreams, no dreamers.
The forest? What do you mean?
From the very first, the visions were set to visit only those who worked the quarries in Yaktel. But after they were ravaged by disease and saw fewer newborns, they were forced to abandon that territory. Once our people's withdrawal to Urkopacha was complete, we never again dreamed of the Golden City.
So only Yokhui in that one specific area experienced the visions. Fascinating.
Well, we're headed to Yaktel next. Maybe we'll find out more when we get there. Thank you for sharing your stories with us.
I do not require gratitude. I merely repay not think our paths will cross again.
That's 35. Cool. Oh, movement just got so much faster. Right, bro. That's why I want to do that early run. Really? That's why you're running the city, so I'll leave you covered. We can head to the palace. Welcome up. Welcome up here. Lost around the world, it seems. Oh, no matter. I got soon enough. I intended to standing by to unlock the cabin and enjoy your stay. Welcome back to cabin ready. That's pretty. Really wish we had more people watching. Missing out on some cool stuff.
You have a moment? There's something.
Whoops.
So, it's just too stuffy in here, that's what. We should go outside. Aye, a nice walk in the fresh air. That's what we need.
What the fuck is wrong with her? We're supposed to be resting. Why are we walking? Aw, really? What are you doing up and about? Is your back feeling better? It's much healed now. I don't make a fuss. Besides, I can't be lying in a bed all day. When you're out there fighting your hardest to win the throne. You're the claimant. You're the greatest love and love for peace. I love this nation of ours, and lending you my support is the least I can do. That's her caregiver too. Her caretaker. The lady that raised her. When I see you smile like that, how can I not be encouraged? Oh, there's plenty more who believe in your cause. I can recruit a whole battalion of smiling faces if you think it'll help. Yours alone is more than enough, thank you. And thank you. Third promise, I should pray for your success in the contest. All those smiling faces. Sorry, Corey, I'm getting distracted. It's just all the progress we've made in contests, and even these everyday encounters feel much more special. Do you think we can take our time and maybe wander around a little first, and then we can head to the spot that I was thinking of?
This is much better. I used to come here all the time when I was little. Would look out over the whole city, and whatever worries I had would seem so small. Do you remember what I said at the top of Warkor Zormor? That I would fight to preserve Papa's peaceful Tural? Well, I've been thinking a lot since then. About what peace really means. If it's just the absence of war. And it brought to mind all the best parts of our journey so far. I realized nothing gives me greater joy than the happiness of others.
That's a disease.
Life has its ups and downs, but the company of family and friends and the music of their laughter is what makes it worth living. And as silly as it might sound, I've come to believe that those smiling faces are the best measure of peace. Really, I feel proud somehow. It's an answer I arrived at by trying to be true to myself. That you think I succeeded, it means a lot. So, this is my plan. When I become Dawn Servant, I'll build on Papa's peace. Our people will live together in happiness. It's just like Kryl said. By taking the time to hear their concerns, understand their feelings, and consider how best to serve, with each passing day, I'll be that much closer to becoming the leader I want to be. It's hard for me to say how much I've changed since the contest began. But there's one thing I can say with confidence. I wouldn't have come this far without you as allies. If it wasn't for you all listening and feeling and thinking along with me, I would have never learned so much, and in so short a time. There are 2 keystones left. After everything that's happened, and imagining what could happen, are you still willing to walk this path with me?
There.
Thank the gods for that. Well, I've nothing else to get off my chest. I need to head to the palace, but I'll see you back at the cabins.
You'll get spirits, I assume your time was well spent. I was glad to snack some quality sleep myself after all, and soon be back to the road force. Ching. Oh, gold armor. Now that we've refreshed ourselves somewhat, let us consider all the claimants. Let us consider all claimants as they currently stand. Jolja and Karin are completed every feat thus far and hold 5 keystones apiece. Buckle amount is equal to them, but Buckle stole one of them. The conniving bagger did so much to lift a finger to defeat a feat of proof and wreak havoc. The feat of ice. He can't have more than 3 keystones at most. You may think he can simply steal what he needs to win, but he's sorely mistaken. It will take. I will be taking back what is mine. This I swear. I fear that reclaiming your keystone may not be enough. That is, if Bakhtaja unleashing a vow is any indication. Using his lead, I anticipate that he will move to obtain the remaining keystones before disrupting his rival attempts. We may all find ourselves being forced to take from one another. I can't say that I'd be comfortable with that. But neither will I surrender my claim to the throne so easily. If it's for the sake of preserving the happiness of my people, I will do what I must. The last 2 keystones we require are thus the Lay of Repast and the Lay of the Brotherhood. Former depicts the cessation of hostilities between the Memelja and in the forest of Yaktel, specifically near the village of what the fuck? What is that? Random letters? That's where. Oh, Jesus Christ! That's where I was born, if I recall. If you recall, that's where I was born. If you recall, I haven't been back there since Papa took me in when I was a baby. Where the Lay of Brotherhood take place, however, is unclear in the saga. It is said that a foreign explorer came seeking an audience with the Dawn Servant, but little more than that. Eorzea has a similar tale. The explorer befriended the two-headed king, known as the Octarch, before commencing his travel across Tyrell. Our journey had here several times afterwards, but ultimately lost at sea. At least that's the common held belief. The two-headed king certainly sounds like Papa, so this fellow must have come from Tyrell. But if he indeed arrived some 80 years ago, the capital may not have been built yet. Wait, you said Auto-Arch, didn't you? Then he must have met the Dawn Servant in Memuk. Memuk? Is that a city? One of the grandest in Tyrell once upon a time. in the Sea of Mamalja homeland. It too lies in Yektel, not far from Ikbak. And all things considered, Yektel seems to be an obvious choice for our next destination. From here, the safest method to travel is by dirigible, yeah, whatever that is. We should make for the landing once preparations are complete. Riding one of Conan's balloons. Oh, they can't be any worse than the ship, can they? Oh. Oh, she hasn't flown. Yes. Oh, yes. Are you sure that thing will stay in the air all the way to Yuktel? She's nervous. Are you ready? Bags packed and our goodbye said, and there's nothing going back once we lift off? Not that I'm nervous or anything. I'm just making sure that you're not nervous. Oh, who am I kidding? My knees won't stop shaking. Hey, will you hold my hand just until I settle my nerves? Maybe ask Aaronville. Wow. You're the nicest person I've ever met, Corey. I'll try not to crush your hand. Yeah, good luck with that. There she is, third promise. Just wait a moment. Sorry to delay, but we were able to discover the origin of Krau's earring. Ooh. Is that so? You said before that it gained popularity in Yuktarel as a protective ward for travelers, correct? That's right. Well, we tracked down the elderly merchant to whom first sales are attributed. According to him, the design imitates an accessory worn by a foreign mage he met at the market some 20 years ago. Little did he know that charming taste of salt would prove to become a commercial triumph. foreign mage wearing an earring could only be my grandfather. Did the merchant happen to mention which market? One in Yuctel? To where it seems you are already bound. What luck, then I shall seek out the next clue to once we arrive. Is it mere coincidence that brought my grandfather there, or was he chasing the Golden City? Yet another discovery to look forward to. Thank you both for coming all this way. Anything for the third promise. Good luck with the rest of your ride. Thanks, I won't let you down. I just got aboard this Dill Ridge and I'm good as there. Last call passengers of Yuctel. I really hope she wins. Yuctel will test your mettle, without a doubt. Next off, Dawn Servant must be willing to bear the full weight of this nation's history, no matter how heavy it may be.
Battered by meteors in ancient times and colored mesmerizing shades of blue and green by nature, it is easy to understand why the place is so named. It is here where the Shebral and Mamulja once battled for dominance, that the right of succession would reach its climax.
Are you all right?
I've never been good with heights.
The vegetation is far denser than in Cosmauca.
I suggest you pay more attention to the ground, unless you want to walk straight into a cenote.
A cenote?
Sinkholes filled with rain and groundwater. Many meteors fell here long ago, it is said, and after they struck the Earth, it became susceptible to erosion. Deep as some of the pits are, you'll not climb out in a hurry should you take a tumble. So, don't take a tumble.
It was one time.
Is the Shebral community depicted in the Lay of Repast close by?
Aye. We need but follow the path a short way west.
Right. I can't stand here with my knees knocking forever. Let's get going.
Our first task should be to find an elector, hopefully relevant trait tardiness, or hopefully our relative tardiness will not reflect poorly upon us. Third promise and her routine, I presume. You presume right. I seek the Dawn Servant Selector. Come join us at the village center. Everyone is waiting. Everyone? Who might that be? Only one way to find out.
At last, we are graced by the presence of the third promise.
If I'd known we'd be waiting on your mangy hide, I wouldn't have bothered with a Ligarmanda in the first place.
You self-serving piece of weaver dung! Do you have any idea how many could have been hurt?
Now that we are assembled, let us begin. My name is Hunmuruk. As a Brash Rash, I have the honor of serving as elector on behalf of my people. As all four claimants must be present for this feat, we have eagerly awaited your arrival.
Shit.
Third promise. If you would please join us. Thus far, you have faced each other as rivals. The feat of repast, however, will test your cooperation. You must complete this challenge in teams of 2.
What? You expect us to work with one of these weaklings?
Be warned. Only the triumphant team will receive keystones. I advise you to cooperate with your partner. Teams will be decided by lots. Those who draw the same color will be paired accordingly.
Twelve forbid Wuklamat is paired with Bakul Jajar. After all he's put her through, I wouldn't blame her if she did something rash. And
Claimants, Please present your colors. I have red.
Blue.
On separate teams, then. And the rest?
Red. Which means...
Together again, as fate would have it.
Victory's as good as ours.
With our claimants thus paired, so too is their opposition.
Not the one-head.
Listen well, for the trial that awaits you is as follows. Each team is to prepare a sample of traditional Shebrol cuisine. Shibruk Bibil.
And now we must cook. Another ludicrous feat.
So it might seem, but there's bound to be deeper meaning to it.
Agreed. Given that the very future of our nation is at stake, all parts of this rite must have significance.
Our promises have grown rather promising, wouldn't you say? Indeed. If I were to guess at the significance of the feat, few things reflect the history and development of a culture so clearly as its culinary traditions.
The variety of stewed dishes in Garlean cuisine bespeaks their agricultural roots and cold climes, true.
The peoples we've met on our journey, they've all had different practices involving food and drink. The Hanu replenished their magical energies with reeds, while the Pelu have turned their fondness of beverages into a living. So basically, to know a people's cuisine is to know something of their ways.
With each feat, we have deepened our familiarity with a given community's history and culture. Is this what Father intended for us all along? But a leader with his vision must see that the past doesn't hold the answers we need. It is through embracing innovation, not adhering to tradition, that we will usher Tuli Yolal onto a more prosperous future.
Damn.
The rules are simple. The first team to prepare and partake of satisfactory Shibruk Bivir will be deemed victorious. You will be judged by your sample's taste and appearance, as well as your adherence to appropriate cooking techniques. Kitchens have been made available for your use. Note that you may be asked to retry should your dish fail to pass muster. Let the feat of repast begin.
I've never actually heard of Shibruk Bibil before. What's it like, I wonder?
How fortunate this feat How fortunate that this feat's unique stipulations have frustrated Bakul Jaja's attempts to delay us. Serves him right. That's what he gets for endangering my people with his schemes. Why doesn't he just compete fairly? He's plenty strong, he's up, and obviously has a mind of strategy, twisted though it may be. I'll never understand him. Putting aside our competition for the moment, allow me to express how glad I am for this opportunity to work together. As I see it, our team possesses a distinct advantage. Of course we do. Our team... Of course we do. Any team I'm on is bound to succeed. Oh, Jesus. Precisely. You mean we have an advantage in numbers, yes? Our competition... Our competition has a team of 6, 2 claimants. Whereas we have a team of 9. That's 3 more people we can mobilize. With tasks suitably delegated, it should be a brisk affair to learn the recipe and assemble necessary ingredients. Too easy. Well, we mustn't be overconfident, lest we make a careless mistake that could have been easily avoided. Always the mind of reason. Our first order of business should be to determine a recipe. We can hardly gather ingredients for a dish we know nothing about. Given the nature of the feat, asking answers directly may prove less efficient than simply observing the daily habits of the people. Let us gather here once we seem to have clues that the village has to offer. What are we looking for? What are these blue bulbs? Blue bulb. Spices. What do we got? Spices. There are spices, some entirely familiar, others also blast. Interesting. This one's called Aquatics. We mostly use it to add a color to our most popular cuisine. But its medicinal benefits are significant as well. Please don't make it very stuff. Recipe? Wish I could tell you, friend. The dish is so delicious that we shared last. We're forbidden from divulging anything. Orders we do. Okay. But your mentioning has given me a perspective, and I hope there's still some behind marketing. Cool. Or marketing. Gotcha. We have cut our losses and had to make this fees nothing but a clear full errand. You're the full thief if you want to or hide. You're the full if you don't think you'll hides. And leather, we dare to return without enough keystones. Besides, we've taken from the house back before. I'll just poke it a second time. What are you looking at, Salvador? Mind your own business. Yeah, well, hopefully we're not supposed to do this time. There you go. Sparkies! Right in that hill. That hill? The areas underground appear to be smoking. It's smoking in that hill. Oh no, here's that got my digital, just have to go in that hill. Oh Jesus, I can really see it for all. It's the issue. From my underground oven. There's nothing like doing tasting in a while. You use the leaves in your company. Oh. Oops. Didn't do that. Hello. Sparkies. Switch. Sorry, I'm back. What did we discover? True to your predictions, villagers were forbidden to talk to us about it. However, many were still preparing different samples of the dish. Observed a technique yield clues enough. The lady blended local herbs and spices, I was only too happy to describe the ones I didn't recognize, while neither confirming nor denying any relation to the soup. But one of the particulars she attributed to all common soups is acolyte. I see, and indeed the dishes we have confirmed first ingredient, really. Meanwhile, I did just observe the cook burying bundles wrapped in leaves from the banana in underground ovens. Saw the same thing. As would be expected of a dish called soup. So to summarize, this dish is one ebrug flavored with a combination of spices including acolyte, steamed underground with najol or banana leaves. Given the assumptions are correct, now to learn how to procure the ingredients. As a staple cuisine, the ingredients should be close to hand, which is why Tancred and I scouted the surrounding forests while you were exploring the village. Between the local vegetation and the wild debris, we should have everything we need in regard to meat and spices. Leave it to the master cleaner. With that, we should divvy up the tasks. While some gathering ingredients, others should make ready the kitchen. I can help prepare the kitchen. Permit me to assist as well. Our oven, our doubtless require firewood, and I have some experience in that gathering. But you should be glad to volunteer my aid. Sorry, Shakespeare. The rest of us will gather ingredients to make quick work of this. Happy to lead someone into the suitable e-bricks. If they perform the requested deeds, Alize. As for the banana leaves, I believe I'm capable of getting them. Be warned, you won't find banana leaves in these parts. They only grow in the Jaktuk heartland forests far below these. Such an excursion may be time consuming. Perhaps we ought to try bartering first. This feat encourages communication to locals after all. Lammy and Corey accompany me on the errand. No better way to meet to whet my appetite. Let us go. Come on, let's get some leaves. The sooner we do, the sooner we can speak. More goodies. And more goodies. Oh shit, it's 3:30 on the fire. Leave the so I get tired. And hey, I was 4 by 4. Come on now. There it is. Don't stand down. Hello again, do you need something? Yeah, directions. Like, how the hell do we do this shit? Banana leaves? For a purpose other than soup, naturally? Unfortunately, I just use up the last. You'll have to travel to the lower forest for more. Vermin Grove is the source of the finest banana leaves you'll find. Wild variants are sometimes seen in city makers. Can't compare. Shut. I see. I'd hoped to avoid such lengthy venture, but if it's the only other way to obtain the ingredients, then we go to the Heartland. Allow me to save you the trip. Traveling there requires you to go through some weird place, but it has caved in due to the recent storms, I expect. But that means you can't go get the banana leaves. But we can. Okay, where were we? But we can't we? There's no other way to procure them. You would have suspended his feet, or else altered the objective. Perhaps. Anyways, I apologize for the interruption, but having overheard your conversation, I felt compelled to chime in. That's very kind of you. Any last-minute advice you'd be willing to share? Only to undertake this feat of repairs, you must empty... Only to undertake this feat with an empty stomach, you may find soup to be a delicious but daunting dish to finish. Oh. I can't wait. So if there are no leaves here, we can't travel for more. How are we supposed to gather up our ingredients? These feats are meant to deepen our understanding of the people and cultures. So perhaps there's something about the soup that we have yet to learn, something more significant other than the recipe and ingredients. Oh, I see. Like who was the first to make it, its history, that sort of thing. If it's history you're interested in, you should have started with that, with the old war. Between the MMO and the exhibit, right? Yeah. Sorry, blowers. These forests have borne witness these centuries of warfare, and evidence of which remains in the scars upon the earth. To know the end of that bloodshed is to know the people. What does steamed soup have to do with bloodshed? Precisely the question we must answer. Vexing though such a detour may seem, I think no other way can be approached this feat. In that case, you may wish to visit the site of the settlement ruined by the war. The village It lies at a short distance to the east. Gotcha. Thanks for the help. Let's go. Oh, I got it. That's what I meant. Hey, look. Hello. Oops. I will be punching. There we go. I don't know. Oh. Still got to release this thing on, but when I was up, you just stop, guys. Get light, hold it. Nope, there we go. Oh, it does work. Wow. So this is the village, or what's left of it. It was a place of light and life. My grandfather called it home, in fact. Hey, it's him. I didn't know you were here. Oh. 3:30. I was picking up lumber from the store when I heard Third Promise was on her way. I heard the Third Promise was on her way to this site of deep historical significance. I immediately saw another opportunity to be of service, and so I followed you. Walkev is a shipwright who came to our aid during the Feat of Reeds. A pleasure. You remember Third Promise's routine, I presume? For the moment, I suppose I am. My name is Koma. Please to make your acquaintance. Koma, that's a good name. Familiar name. Where have I heard it? I'm the Second Promise, dumbass. Oh no. As in the Second Promise of Trulu. I think I addressed the Dawn Servant's own sons as some common retainer. Such disrespect cannot be excused. Please take up. Oh, we're gonna start with this shit again. Ah, that's what she said. I take no offense. Don't dwell on it. Okidoki. Ah, just on cue. Just same as, yep. Okay, here you go. Here's your story. We'd appreciate that. His most basic sense conflict between them and them was one of land. The Mamal'Jal lived in the lower forest, in thick canopy obscured sun and soil, and was unforgiving to the crops. This drove them to covet the upper forest, the home of the Zekbal. They launched a determined campaign to seize it for themselves. It advantages every favors the high ground, and the all force held the upper hand against the invaders, rebuffing them all time again. But as the state of this village would attest, the tide eventually turned. What brought about that? Something you know all too well, blessed siblings. You must understand, the Mamalja were once a people as much as at war with themselves as they were with others. Oh. Yeah. 1, 2, 3 different clans fought each other for dominance over the others. And they all engaged in battles. In an effort to strengthen bonds, they discouraged infighting. Some of the leaders arranged marriage between children. However, this political measure altered the course of history in other ways no one could have ever imagined. It was long believed that partners of differing clans could not have had children together. Yeah, surprise, surprise, but then it happened. Kids arrived, shared blood of both. A two-headed Mamojo. Oh. Blessed with tremendous physical strength and magical powers, he grew into a mighty warrior before eventually arising as the first auto-arch ruler of all 3 clans. Such qualities would dispose anyone to leadership, character notwithstanding. Under the auto-arch rules, the newly united Mamal became a force to be reckoned with and feared. I think the best you see the results firsthand. Let's visit another battlefield from that time. And there I shall continue the tale. And my God. Oh, I should have not clicked on that.
This is where most battles were fought between the Shabral and Mamulja, the Shobrit Cinderfield.
A field of cinders, indeed. How fierce their clashes must have been.
The war over these lands began after the Yorqui's departure some 500 years ago. And for 4 centuries thereafter, the 2 enemies repaid violence with violence. A constant stream of minor skirmishes, punctuated by massive slaughter.
Until Father ended their endless conflict 80 years ago.
Accompanied by a retinue of only 6, the Dawn Servant opposed both armies and brought the fighting to a standstill.
First they sealed Valley Armanda at full strength, and now this.
It was during this armistice that both sides gathered for negotiations at the Dawn Servant's behest.
For too long, you have been bound by your ancestors' violent legacy. It is past time you broke free of it.
Tell that to the Scale Scum! We fight to protect what is rightfully ours. If not for their greed, we'd be living in peace.
Buff your tails and scurry off then! Cowards like you ill-deserve the bounty of this forest.
Even should one of you succeed in vanquishing the other,
Your triumph will last only until a new invader arrives. Tell me, do you know of the vast continent that lies far to the east, where numerous nations vie for dominance? You do not. And why should you? Affairs beyond the salt we have no intention to cross are of no consequence to us. Not until those affairs come to Tural, like our honored visitor here.
He's from across the ocean.
I've been to the ocean before, and it's nothing but water farther than the eye can see. What sort of vessel could possibly reach its end?
That such technology exists is indisputable, as is foreign powers' awareness of Tural. If any such country were to develop a taste for Turali soil and bring to bear the might of innovations we can only imagine, what do you suppose happens then? You do not know the warlords of the East, but you know that if they came, they would not settle for a single forest. By joining hands, we might create a unified front, an alliance capable of repelling them or any other foe. There is no greater proof of these than my companions and I. Alone we are weak, but together we triumphed over Valigarmanda.
What? You defeated the Sky Ruin? I'd take you for a liar if the sting of our own defeat wasn't still fresh.
Their coordination was indeed impressive. How the Pelu stymied our efforts to cripple the Yokui's legs and defend our ballistas. And when we withdrew to strike again from a distance, the Hanu called the winds to make our arrows miss their marks. In seeking to exploit their weaknesses, we only subjected ourselves to their strengths.
Those strengths are born of cooperation. The guiding principle of the nation we envision.
Be
But
nice.
our feud has lasted for centuries. How do you expect us to join hands now?
Ha ha! Give us an evening to convince you.
And so began that legendary banquet. One would not expect sworn enemies to abruptly drink to each other's health, and, indeed, a tense silence hung over the venue. But then, the Dawn servant called for the exchange of traditional cuisine. So it was that the Mamulja partook of spiced meat, and the Chebral steamed najul. Before long, delight manifested upon the faces of those present, each side impressed by the other's dish. Seeing this, the Dawn servant laughed and declared once more, Their flavors, he said, would be even better combined, and he proceeded to help them prepare the new creation.
That's Shibruk Pibil, I'd wager.
Wow, I couldn't repeat that if I need. Yeah.
It is a marriage of Shabral and Mamulja cultures, and proof of their newfound cooperation. The Dawn Servant had asked for a single evening, but the feasting is said to have lasted 3 days and 3 nights. So delicious was their repast. In the end, a peace accord was reached, and the Dawn Servant's words at that time still illuminate our way forward.
Ignorance begets a strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
Sorry. It's just to think that he ended an age-old conflict with food. It's all so absurd. It's somehow so very papa, I couldn't help but laugh.
Ignorance begets strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
Now then, I trust you understand the significance of Shibruk Pibil and the history it has written.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing the story with us. What's wrong? Someone was there, you say?
Perhaps our competition is cooking up some scheme or another.
Something bitter and half-baked, no doubt.